Welcome to F4 US Championship Today. I'm Kyle Benjamin. We're here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course for round number 3 of the 2018 F4 US Championship, races 7, 8, and 9. The J. Howard Driver Development Squad is looking to get back on track, if you will, after a rough weekend at Road Atlanta. Global Racing Group driver Benjamin Peterson wants to stretch his point lead over Dakota Dickerson. Speaking of Dickerson, he is more determined than ever to grab that elusive first victory.
This season in particular, we've kind of been more on the reserve side, looking for the points, going for the championship. I think I'm kind of done with that. We're starting on the pole here. This is a good track to win from pole, so we're going to be pushing hard, being a little bit more aggressive to get that win.
An aggressive qualifying run landed Dakota that pole position. He beat out J. Howard driver Teddy Wilson by less than 0.03 of a second. Starting third, Wilson's teammate, Christian Rasmussen. Dickerson took advantage on the start, charging into turn 1. He kept the lead until a lap 2 caution bunched the field. The top 4 of Dickerson, Rasmussen, Teddy Wilson, and James Raven gradually pulled away after the restart, as the rest of the field battled behind them. The cards finally fell Dickerson's way. Another long caution kept the competition in check until time expired. After 11 podium finishes, Dakota finally nabs his first career F4 win.
Our restarts were good. We got a good rolling start, and that was the key to it. You know, just building a gap initially, and Christian was definitely closing in on us little by little, but we were able to hold it off. So, just really happy to get that final win.
That win also pushed Dickerson into the points lead, just ahead of Benjamin Peterson heading into the weekend's second race, race 8 of the year. While those J. Howard driver development shoes are sporting new trophies after race 7, their cars are sporting a special partner, CSU One Cure. It's a project from Colorado State University's Flint Animal Cancer Center that's aiming to better understand cancer in humans by treating it in animals. One Cure is an important part of J. Howard's racing platform. It sponsored his Schmidt-Peterson Motorsports effort in this year's Indy 500. And now he and his F4 drivers are supporting One Cure.
It's an incredible place. It's amazing the work that's being done there. We really are trying to give them the credit that's due and let the world know exactly what they're doing. And what they are doing is something called comparative oncology. We're finding through more and more research that the cancers in pets, particularly dogs, is in many cases exactly the same as in humans. It's just amazing when you visit their facility. The technology, the teamwork is what was really intriguing to me, and how they do like a debrief just the same as we do with kids. After a racing session, after a surgery, they do the same thing. They sit around a table, everyone talks about what they learned, what they found, and just a really, really cool organization. No one likes cancer. Everyone hates it. Everyone wants it to be gone, and it's really incredible what they're doing. They deserve the credit, they deserve the support, and that's what we're trying to do.
As the drivers settled in for race 8 of the 2018 season, the focus turned again to Dickerson. He's once more on the pole, followed by Rasmussen and Peterson. On the start, those three charged ahead as expected until lap 2. Peterson clipped the curb and spun, fell back to 11th. That allowed Jacob Abel and the Abel Motorsports 22 to vault to 3rd, where he watched a terrific battle for the lead on the restart. Christian Rasmussen squeezed past Dickerson in turn 1, but Dakota fights back. He tucked in the draft behind the 6th car and down the long straight. He then returned the favor in Mid-Ohio's famous keyhole. But wait, there's more. Rasmussen makes this bold move a few laps later to retake the lead. The front 2 put on an absolute clinic for the rest of the race, but Dickerson couldn't get back around, and Rasmussen nabbed his 3rd win of the season.
It's really a shame you're not having any fun here this weekend.
Oh, I'm having a lot of fun. So I'm really enjoying the racing with Dickerson this weekend. I think he's very, very competitive, so that's great.
that's always the most fun racing, is racing against the quickest guys that also have a certain level of respect for each other out on the racetrack, because I know I can make moves, I can trust him to give me room. So ultimately it's great for everybody. It's good for the teams, it's good for the drivers, it's good for the fans.
So after finally tasting victory, Dickerson found himself right back down on that familiar second step. He managed to keep the points lead heading into race 9. The highlights and a look at the next step of the United States Formula Ladder up next.
F4 U.S. Championship today is being brought to you by Honda. The F4 United States Championship is powered by Honda and presented by Honda Performance Development. And by Speedcom Communications, for more than 20 years, the world leader in motorsports radio and communication systems. Find out more at speedcomracing.com. Go faster than you ever have. Bridge the gap between karts and open-wheel dreams. Discover your inner champion. SCCA Pro Racing continues its long history of developing great drivers with the new F4 United States Championship. Join us on this epic journey, redefining racing. The driver eradicates entry barriers to become a seasoned pro, affordable and straightforward. This is where you belong. Welcome to the F4 United States Championship, sanctioned by SCCA Pro Racing.
Before the racing began at Mid-Ohio, the F4 paddock got the first look at the redesigned F3 America's car.
IndyCar rookie Zach Veach, who drives the number 26 Honda-powered Andretti Autosport entry,
took the newest addition to On-Road North America's stable for a few laps.
Kind of inspires confidence as soon as you get into it. And the steering's so positive that you have so much grip that you just want to go out there and push as hard as you can. For me, I was blown away just from the balance of the car and honestly the drivability, how smooth the Honda engine is in it. I mean, I haven't been in many race cars where it's so quiet that you can hear the turbo build up pressure as you're going down the straightaway, and that's such a cool experience for a driver because you know how much power is being delivered every time you hit the throttle. It's fun to drive. It's challenging in the ways that it needs to be to kind of develop you to get to that next step, whether it be F2 or other series. So for me, yeah, I think it would be a great step to kind of get your way to IndyCar. You know, I drive a Honda Type R. So with that being the same engine that's in the F3, and then my Honda IndyCar is a V6 twin turbocharged, you can kind of tell the characteristics of all the engines. They all come from the same kind of heart, if that makes sense. Each have their own little sound to them that kind of brings them to that Honda family. So with the F3 car having the halo, you know, we've only seen pictures from side views. We haven't really got to sit in the car and see it from a visual perspective. And honestly, when I was asked the question about the halo, for a minute I was like, what halo? I mean, when you get in the car, it immediately leaves your field of view and you don't even notice it on track because you're so focused right down the racetrack itself. So for me, it's much more of a visual thing when you're looking at the car from the outside. But as soon as you're strapped into it, I mean, you don't even know that it's there.
Our F4 drivers would love to move up the Formula ladder, but their most pressing concern? Sunday's second race. Dickerson once more strong on the start. Grabbed the lead in the weekend's third race, this time from the outside of the front row. He gapped Rasmussen, but it wouldn't last. On lap 4, the Jay Howard driver goes wide in turn 4 and steals the top spot. A yellow for a car stranded in turn 1 would give Dickerson one more chance. But on the restart, some bad news. James Raven gets inside the 9 car and forces Dickerson wide and nearly off course. Dickerson drops to 5th. Rasmussen, meanwhile, in that Jay Howard number 6 never looked back, grabbing his second win of the weekend and 4th for the season.
Such a good race. I mean, the guys delivered such a great car for me this last race. So, I mean, really stoked. Great to be back in the game.
Honorable mention of the weekend goes out to another Jay Howard development driver, Teddy Wilson. He finished 3rd in all 3 races after a disastrous weekend at Road Atlanta.
It was good to be back on the podium, definitely Road Atlanta. That was a weekend to definitely forget. No, but the team's done a great job getting me and the whole team where we need to be. So it's just about working on myself as a new rookie driver in Formula cars. So it's been a big learning curve so far, and it's just good to get on the podium and get some good points.
For Dickerson, it was great, then good, then just fair, but enough for him to take and hold the points lead by 10 markers over Rasmussen. Benjamin Peterson dropped back to 3rd after an average for him weekend. James Raven and Teddy Wilson round out the top 5. Next stop for the F4 US Championship, the newly accredited Pittsburgh International Raceway in early August. Thanks for being with us on this edition of F4 US Championship Today. I'm Kyle Benjamin. We'll see you next time.